Welcome to Theology, a podcast about theology with the G's. My name is Benjamin.
And I'm Christina.
We are the G's.
We are the G's.
You're not supposed to giggle during the intro.
I think it's too long. I'll be honest.
yeah.
I think it's too long.
Well, it's too late.
I have too much time to just sit and stare at your face.
I don't think most people listen to their own intros
Right.
when
Totally.
they record.
Yeah. Well, we're listening every time.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, no, it's too much. It's like 7 seconds too long.
Too
Too late.
Get AI to write us a new intro song.
Yes. I bet it could.
My engineering manager. There's like this long running theme at my job when we do like software demos on Fridays. One engineer, like he started singing, like he had like this little catchy tune about how it's demo time. And it's like kind of like morphed. And then we had this guy who worked for us who was like super into EDM and stuff. So he like made like a pretty sick version of the demo time song.
Spicy.
And then my EM, who has a certain personality, I love my EM, he's funny. He decided to feed those lyrics and like our company values and things like that into AI and then get AI to write a song. And it was like 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
It was long.
Was it good?
It was awful.
Oh, no.
It is.
It's supposed to be good at music.
It's like the most like, oh man. There are many things that AI is good at. It's like eerie listening to AI write something like that's generally like a purely human endeavor.
Yeah.
Just like so cringe.
Yeah.
Maximum cringe.
All right.
And people were to like, and so he leads demos. He owns the meeting now and he's the host. So they couldn't stop him.
Can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Buckle up.
We're not going to get AI to write us a new theme song.
That's too bad. That's all right.
Maybe we could write our own. Nah.
We're
That's
not
never
going to
happening.
do that.
Nope. Okay. Anyways.
Today, we're getting crunchy. We're getting crunchy, guys.
First off, don't like that term.
You don't?
No.
I kind of like it.
It's kind of like moist.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of
It's
like
not icky.
crunch.
It's crunchy. It's not soft. It's crunchy.
Like, do you wear it as a badge of? Do you like?
Well, yeah, yeah. That's it's up for
Do
debate.
people in the crunchy world?
I think so.
Yes,
Absolutely.
They like to call themselves crunchy.
Yes. So
Okay.
this is my confession. Okay, consider this episode my confession. I aspire to be a crunchy mom, guys.
I don't think you aspire. I think you are.
Oh, I'm definitely not, but
No.
I want to be. And I feel like crunchy. So first of all, when I say crunchy, what I mean is health and wellness, alternative corners of the internet are telling you to do things that maybe not everybody thinks you should do. As far as like non-toxic, we're talking non-toxic living. Okay, that's what I mean by crunchy.
Yeah.
So mostly we're talking about like food, but household items, materials you come in contact with, activities you do, health and wellness.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I mean by crunchy.
Okay. Before we move on,
Yeah.
can we tie this to like what we're talking about theologically? Because we could just talk about like things to do to be crunchy or not crunchy.
Yeah, we could.
We could.
And I would
shall
love
we?
that.
No, we shall not.
Okay. What do you mean?
Like why? Why does any of this matter?
This matters because it takes up a lot of my brain space.
Mm-hmm.
And every area of our lives, which will come back to this, but every area of our lives as Christians gets to be uncovered you get to pull up the rocks, you show it to the Lord, what's underneath, and you have to determine, is this something I should be spending my time on? Is this something that glorifies God? And so this is kind of an exercise in that.
Yeah.
How should I be thinking about this
Yeah.
area of my life? And I feel like, I don't know if this is just because this is kind of what I've been interested in lately, but I feel like crunchiness and the discussion around it is kind of on the rise. Like it's everywhere now. And maybe that's just in my little world, but I think it's just important to do this as a like regular practice with things in our lives.
Yeah. I
this
think
needs to be brought into submission to the Lord.
Yeah. If you look at, I think like more just like general culture, media, news, like health and wellness,
Right.
biohacking,
Yes.
things like that,
Longevity
are becoming like
mainstream. Yes.
Mainstream. I think like before a couple of years ago, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely moved. But from like, obviously our podcast is about theology. But the overarching question is like, how do we steward our bodies well?
Yeah.
Why is being healthy important or not important? Why is wellness? I don't like that word either.
I know. Wellness is kind of stupid.
Sorry for our young listeners and your ears.
We can't say the word stupid.
I had somebody point that out to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe we need to.
Maybe we need to reanalyze who our audience is.
I was going to say, maybe kids shouldn't be listening to this then.
No, I think kids can listen to this. I think we probably just need to speak. Well, anyways.
Yes. We need to decide. Wait, what were we saying? What were you just saying? Oh, yeah.
We have been
how
given
our
physical
bodies should be used by us.
Yes, yeah. And what you're saying, like about how every area of our life, when you become a believer, is turned over to the Lord.
Yeah.
It's not just your prayer life or what you read or what movies you watch. It is how you steward the body that you have, the food that you eat, the amount of exercise that you participate in, all of that. All of that has a spiritual element to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And this episode is probably born out of me realizing that I'm thinking about these things in ways that are not godly, that are not putting like a Christ-focused lens over top of everything, that I'm letting the ways of the world kind of creep into my mind and determine how much importance I give to these things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're starting at.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get there. Okay. Continue on.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Okay. Health and wellness. I like to call it wellness world. That's
that's also bad.
I know. That's just what I've labeled it.
Oh, this is not like, this is just you.
No, this is just me in my brain. I'm like, this belongs in the wellness world category in my life. Anyway.
Okay.
So I would say this movement, let's call it a movement, is kind of born out of the premise that if you look at, I'm mostly talking about North Americans and Western countries. Yeah. We're not getting healthier. Okay, we have modern technology. We have the most money we're spending on healthcare. We have a very modernized system. We're not getting healthier. We're getting sicker.
Yeah.
In recent generations, diseases of all kinds are on the rise.
Does anybody dispute that?
I'm sure there's some, like, one example I'm going to give is, I don't actually have the stats for these, so that's kind of unfortunate. But like autism is dramatically higher than it's ever been. And some people say that that's just because of
we're tracking it.
Yeah,
or-
reporting, and we know more about what it is now and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, it's alarming. I think in California, if I'm not wrong, it's like 1 in 17 boys is diagnosed with autism.
Well,
Anyway, so
but not just autism, like not actual, but like metabolic.
yes, like diabetes,
Cellular.
obesity,
Yeah.
cancer. I don't think anybody disputes, because that's just like statistically true worldwide. All of these things have increased dramatically in the last few decades.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the wellness world community agrees or believes that to some extent these issues are attributed to our modern lifestyle. Okay, it's not just fluke. It's not just happening to us.
Right.
It's because of things like what we eat, how little we move our bodies in our modern world, spending time indoors mostly instead of outdoors, and a whole bunch of different other environmental factors that some of them you can control.
Some of them
Some of them, you might not really be able to control.
Right.
So food is a big one that we can control for the most part.
For the most part,
you can control what goes in your mouth.
Yeah.
So ultra processed food is like the devil to the health and wellness culture. So ultra processed food is food that is basically anything that's like packaged in plastic that is made in a factory that you could not make at home.
Okay.
Kind of. I mean, that's like a very loose definition.
Yeah. Right.
But like,
give examples.
Crackers, chips, candy, any kind of like candy bar, sodas.
Sody pops.
But like the frozen section, any frozen ready meals, hot dogs, deli meat is super processed. Chicken nuggets that you buy at the store, highly processed. And
it's like a vague category. The way I like to think about it is like how far removed from the actual thing that came out of the ground,
totally,
or the animal that died, or is that a final product?
Yes.
And so if you think about chicken nuggets, it's like, how many layers of processing of the live chicken had to take place to get to the final product?
Yeah.
And usually, if you think about things like, I'm trying to think of another, like hot dogs, things like that. It's like there's a lot of work that requires you to take whatever a hot dog was as a living animal to get it in hot dog form, and not just in hot dog form, but then onto a shelf, perhaps thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
So that it can be ready to be consumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also things you might not think of at first, like most of the bread you buy at the store, highly processed.
Yes.
Some of like the yogurt you buy at the store with like lots of additives and sugars and flavorings, highly processed.
Yeah. Bread is a good example because, again, if you think about like wheat growing.
Yeah. It's like you think it's just bread.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of it has like weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we eat a lot of processed food, like highly processed food in North America. So this is, I think this is for Americans. 50 to 60% of the average North American's daily calories are from ultra processed foods. And that's more for children.
Yeah,
more for children is like
even
up to 70% of calories that children consume, I think, in the United States is from ultra processed foods, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So under the banner of ultra processed food is seed oils. Okay. I don't know how common it is for people to know what seed oils is. It's the dreaded seed oils in the health and wellness world. Okay. So they take things that are not oily, things that it's really hard to get oil out of.
What's something that's easy to get oil out of?
Olives. Avocados.
Right. Good.
Anyway, and they, like in industrial plants, process it like crazy, use different kinds of solvents,
chemicals,
deodorizers, because what the finished product is really gross, and then they have to further process it and deodorize it so that it's something palatable that you want or can tolerate eating, basically. It's really gross. And the process of them producing this oil oxidizes the oil, which makes it very inflammatory in your body. Okay, so this is what the health community says. Okay, I know that because seed oils have been like in the news lately, that lots of people have been like, seed oils are not bad for you. This is all crazy. So there's debate. Okay,
yeah.
But basically, they're super cheap and they're in everything.
Yeah.
Okay, canola oil is a big one. Sunflower oil, safflower oil. I don't know exactly what that is. I think it's related to sunflower oil, but it's a seed oil. Soybean oil. Anything that says vegetable oil, that is like kind of a code word for seed oils.
Vegetable oil is just canola oil, right?
I think, or it might be soybean oil as well.
Vegetable oil. Vegetable oils or vegetable fats are oils extracted from seeds or from other parts of edible plants.
I think it's kind of like a general
kind of like a
catch-all term.
Okay.
Anyway, so seed oils are everywhere. And it's very hard if you're not like constantly reading labels. It's very hard to get away from them. Another big one is soda.
Soda pops.
Soda pops.
This one less controversial.
Less controversial, but like anyway, there's so many rabbit holes we could go down about sugar-free sweeteners and blah blah blah, all that stuff. But basically,
if you haven't heard, soda is bad for you.
It's bad for you, but not just like people know it's like not good for me, but it's actually been like specifically linked to a much higher risk of cancer in recent studies. If you drink 100 mils of pop, which is not very much, that's like a third of a can, a third of a can a day, that increases your risk of cancer in general, like any type of cancer, by 18%. Every 100 mils you add per day adds 18%. So it's like if you drink a can of Coke a day, that increases your risk of cancer by what? 56%. That's a lot. Anyway, that was a recent study. France. Fact check me.
Yeah, you're going to have links in the show notes.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not. That's above my pay grade. Anyway, you can do this research very easily yourself. Plastic. This is my last one, okay? Plastic, this is one that's actually kind of hard for us to control.
Yeah.
Like, in some ways you can control it. In some ways, you really can't. You can't get away from it in our modern culture. Obviously, plastic is everywhere. What we buy, every single kind of baby item you could buy is plastic. But things you don't really think about, your broom in your kitchen, made of plastic, your toothbrush, kitchen appliances, your clothing's made of it. But it's also in places you don't think. It's in our water supply. Microplastics are in the soil that our food's grown in. It's been found in meat that you buy in the grocery store because the animals are eating grain that has microplastic in it, blah, blah, blah. So it's everywhere. And we're finding out that it's not very good for us to have plastic in our bodies. Basically, the chemicals in plastic are endocrine disruptors. They mimic estrogen in our bodies, which throws our hormones out of whack. So there's like a lot of research about this plastic exposure being one of the major factors in fertility rates decreasing, which has been happening over the last few decades. Anyway, go look it up. It's not great. Dr. Shanna Swan is a researcher. We watched this Netflix documentary, The Plastic Detox. She's the lady in that. Spoiler alert, okay, these couples couldn't have babies. They like got rid of plastic in their lives, like dramatically, reduced their exposure to plastic. The sperm counts went up, the quality of sperm went up, and like 3 out of 6 of the couples ended up getting pregnant after doing the experiment for, I think they did it for like 6 to 12 months or something like that. Anywho, so that's where we're at. Okay. So that's some of the things that crunchy people, including myself, are concerned with. Okay. So the question is, what do we do with this information? Like, how should we approach this? As we get to like the theological part, I just want to like, this is a third tier issue, right? So I think that in my own life, there's many different responses I've seen people give. It's like, you're either kind of on board and you're like, oh yeah, trying to make changes in your life. You know about it. You don't really care enough to do anything about it in your life. Or you're like highly skeptical of all this information and you don't really believe. You think we're all quacks, the crunchies. And so I think because this information is supposedly like new and it kind of demands us to respond in some way, people can get really up in arms and really opinionated because it can like fly in the face of things you thought you knew or opinions you already held. So we should not be parting ways with other believers over these kind of issues.
Yeah.
This is something that we should have grace with each other for. And we should all, if you so choose, if you care about this, should be asking the Lord to lead you in this and ask for personal conviction. Ask the Holy Spirit. Romans 14:5, each one should be fully convinced in his own mind. So it's okay to come to different conclusions. Okay.
Yeah.
Second of all, before we get to this, I just wanted to say, because, you know, we're all supposed to be very sensitive. I understand that this is like quite a privileged conversation. Like these problems to think about are things that maybe more privileged people think about. It's like you have the luxury of worrying about where your meat comes from. Or if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're probably not thinking about whether your water contains fluoride and microplastics. If you're living in a third world country, you just want clean water. Do I have drinkable water?
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand that. These are still things that I think about.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like I have a couple questions. Yeah, first, like on the privileged conversation, I think we should also recognize that this is like a conversation that humans have only really had the luxury of thinking about and talking about like in the past 50 years.
Sure.
Like,
from what?
I mean, Christians 400 years ago, 600 years ago, they're like dying of infant mortality rates at like you were lucky to be alive at all.
Yeah.
If you haven't been killed by the Black Plague or cold or whatever. So you weren't like ultra concerned about like your source of meat.
Yeah.
But likely because you also were much closer to the meat that you
Yes. Consumed. And you only had probably one option.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, like back to like the third world country thing. Yeah, I do think just like having that in mind also helps us frame.
Right.
I guess maybe like the magnitude of this question.
Yeah.
Is it
how important is it?
How important is it? Is it a question that all Christians have wrestled with for all time?
Right. No.
No.
Not at all.
So but at the same time, that doesn't mean that it's not an important issue. Like,
right.
We haven't done a podcast on AI. No Christians ever prior to the last 5 years had to think about AI.
Right.
Right. So so does that mean it's not important? No, it is important. It's important for us now.
It's like just because it's a newer thing, that doesn't mean it can't, how you respond to this can't change your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Those are good thoughts.
Okay.
So the first thing I think we should think about is being discerning when it comes to what we're listening to, who we're following. My crunchy information mostly comes from like a few different podcasts that I listen to. So trying to discern what information is something I should be taking in and caring about and thinking about and mulling over? What information is true? And what should I be letting go of?
Yeah.
And how do I know? So,
yeah, I think one of the arguments that I have heard against the crunchy world is like this separation of professions and like the trust professions. And like that's one of the central cornerstones our society is built upon. Like, for example, when I drive across a bridge, I have not personally checked the math about whether this bridge is going to hold me. I have a tremendous amount of faith and trust in the engineers and the bylaws and the codes that this bridge was built well. And so I have an inherent trust in engineers. And so that level of logic has been applied to the medical community by and large, where it's like, I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to med school. So I'm going to trust what my family doctor says, or I'm going to trust what the medical establishment says. I think there's two complicating things to this. One, the science of bridges is very well understood. Humans have built incredible bridges, and we know how bridges work. Go look at some of the bridges that have been built in the world. The human body is incredibly complicated. And I think if you were to talk to a doctor who says things with absolute assurance, you should be skeptical of that doctor. Because there are lots of things that we know about the human body. We can do heart transplants, which is incredible. We can do brain surgery, open brain surgery, which is incredible. But there are many things that we do not know about the human body and the way that it interacts with environments and the varied influences that our food and our environment and all that play in. And so I think you should be skeptical about just trusting the medical establishment, because I think if you look into it, you'll actually see how frayed the medical establishment is on many, many issues. Now, I'm not saying throw out all the information from your family doctor, but I would say, by and large, I have much more trust and faith in the engineers that build bridges than I do with doctors who say that they know blank. Because if you look at the rise of like chronic issues or like the rise of things like alternative medicine, I think it's mainly because people suffer with like chronic issues, long-term issues that the modern medical establishment has not really had answers for.
Right.
Like if you go to, well, this is a bit of a rabbit hole. Anyways, I'll say that as a,
all right.
I'll stop there.
Yeah. We want to be discerning.
Yeah.
Ephesians 4:14. We don't want to be tossed to and fro by the waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine, by human cunning, by craftiness in deceitful schemes. So, I mean, that can come in all kinds of forms.
Yes.
That can come in as an influencer who's trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
I think it can also come in as a doctor trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I think this is also a challenging moment in history for sure. And humans have, especially with the rise of AI, like unprecedented access to information.
Yeah.
It's actually
absolutely.
It's
too much.
It is too much. Like before, the reason why you did just trust your doctor, you did just trust like the engineer who built your bridge, is because it was impossible to get the information anyways.
Right.
So you didn't even have an alternate source of information to make a decision on.
Right.
So you just trusted your doctor, you just trusted the engineer. But now you have access to the same studies the doctors do. You can go perform your own studies. And so how are you actually supposed to even know who to trust anymore? Because one doctor says this, and another doctor says this, and one study says this, and another study says this. And everything is kind of competing with each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get there.
And so, yeah, just as a general principle is like, we do have to be discerning and use the knowledge that the Lord has given us to the best of our abilities and make decisions based off the information that we have. And we're probably going to get things wrong.
Yeah. I mean, we can just jump right there. That's basically my conclusion to this section
episode?
is
Oh,
that
okay.
no.
Okay. No, okay. Keep going.
Like we don't want to be tossed to and fro by the waves, but the next verse tells us what we do want.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, speaking the truth in love, we're to grow up in every way into him who is the head, into Christ. So we're going for truth and we're going for maturity. We're growing into Christ. So yeah, we do want to be discerning. I don't want to say like we're skeptical of everything.
Yeah.
Because that's, you can't really learn much if you're skeptical of every single thing or you don't believe anybody.
Yeah.
Ever.
Which is something that is actually more common now.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like part of the problem with our unprecedented access to information is just like, it's just overwhelming. So you don't even know who to trust.
Yeah. So I think it's better instead of just saying blanket no to everything or thinking that I have all the answers already. You want to, if you're going to listen to people tell you things that you don't totally know or understand, you need to be discerning and think through things that the podcaster, influencer, Instagram reels are telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. On any topic, but especially on this topic of health. So thinking about like how much weight am I giving this person? Do I completely trust this person who I don't know, who doesn't know me, doesn't know my specific situation?
Yeah.
Like, I think you've been helpful to me in this area somewhat because I can like listen to an episode of a podcast about something and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to change everything in my life. I need to like go with this. And then you're very good at like bringing me back and being like, well, they told you this, this, and this. Do you know if this that they said is actually true? Do you know if this is actually going to be harmful to you? And it's like a good reminder of like, well, no, you're right. I don't actually know the specifics of if that would be harmful to me. Anyway, so questioning, constantly like readdressing how much weight should I give to this person?
Yeah.
Because I like read the comments on some of these podcast episodes, or even like the person that I'm thinking of will say messages that she gets from people who listen to her podcast. And it's like, people, you are trying to get this person literally to think for you.
Yeah.
Like you're not thinking
about
whether this information applies to your life at all. You're just like, well, I have to take everything she says and change my whole life around it. So thinking about that is really important.
Yeah.
Sometimes the information is like, okay, judge me if you want. Okay. I know you might not be a huge fan of this, but I'm a big, like, listen to my gut person. Okay. I can kind of sniff out when somebody is like information that I'm like, that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it make sense with how I experience the world and what I see around me? Obviously, you don't just go with your gut, okay? You lay it against scripture. You lay it against wisdom. But sometimes it's self-evident. You're like, oh, this person is trying to sell me something that I don't need. Or this doesn't apply to my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's good research you can look into that convinces you of results that teach you something new. That's helpful information. And sometimes you kind of have to just accept that you don't know.
Yeah.
You might, like you said before, you might not know fully. And sometimes you can't know, honestly, because, so this is kind of like a rabbit trail, but I get really annoyed when people talk about, it's all about like research. It's all about studies. If it doesn't have a double-blind randomized controlled trial attached to the information, then I don't believe it. I don't buy any of it because it has to be backed up by whatever, peer-reviewed literature. I'm like, there are bad research, bad science comes out every day. It gets peer-reviewed and it gets through. And basically you can come up with a study to support any conclusion you want these days, pretty much. Like, I don't have the training to be able to pick apart a research studies method section or to analyze the statistical analysis to really know whether the study was set up in such a way as to get a trustworthy conclusion. Okay. I can't really do that myself.
Yeah.
But I do listen to some scientists who talk about research they come across that's really bad because they know how to pick it apart. And I'm just like, that. It's just my faith in the peer reviewed literature system is pretty slim at this point. Like I bad research is out there. It's all over the place. And I probably can't pick it out myself most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's really, I feel like honestly, even myself personally, it is actually really easy to get discouraged. Because if you've actually ever been in a research environment in an academic setting, you realize pretty quickly how much of a gong show it is. Like, even in research that I participated in university, which was mechanical engineering, which is like, you would think it's like be easier to do research in mechanical engineering because it's not like the human body where there's a bunch of unknowns. There's a lot of making it up as we go, which is a little bit freaky. And if you, anyways, I don't know how many rabbit holes we want to go on. It is scary when it's like, I don't know how to understand or pick apart the methodology section in a research paper. But it's like, but I'm going to trust this person. But it's like, do they have their own agenda?
Right.
And it's like, but do these doctors also have their own agenda? And so it's like, okay, so then how do you know who to trust?
Yeah. I think we're after what's true.
Yeah.
Right. So it matters what's true. It matters what we're believing.
Yeah.
I feel like when you don't know and you can't know.
Yeah.
We can always bring it back to scripture. We can always try to discern if what we're being presented with lines up with what we're taught in scripture.
Yeah.
And also what makes sense in the world we live in. I don't really know. Like, pray.
Yeah.
Pray and ask for discernment.
Yes.
And don't get anxious about it.
Yeah.
Like, don't let fear consume you. Yeah, we will get there.
We'll get there.
I think I don't have a great answer for this, but when it comes down to it, we each have to do the best with the information we have, with what God is calling us to in our individual lives. Be open to other people speaking wisdom into your life when you need to be called out on something. But like, leave it with God at the end of the day.
Yeah. Ultimately, you have to make the best decision you can with the information that you have and be open faithful to changing.
Yeah.
And that's really I think that ultimately that's the best you can do. Yeah. And we're not called to give up hope and be like, well, all research is a joke or a sham and none of it is true.
And I'm not saying that to not read research, not care about what research says. It's like, yes, try as hard as you can to understand what the information is you have. But if you can't get there, we're not trusting in the research ultimately. We're trusting in the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
The next thing I think we need to, it's just something to consider when we're thinking about this, is stewardship of our bodies. Okay. I don't think health is something that's talked about in the church very much as far as like physical health, and that it should be an important consideration for Christians to actually care about. But I think there is an argument to be made that we should care about it. Like, we should care how our bodies work and that we're taking care of them.
Yeah.
Just a few verses about our bodies. We all know them. 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, I hope that statement that every Christian should be concerned about the health of our bodies is something that shouldn't actually be that controversial.
Right. Maybe it's not controversial, but I just think it's like, it's something we kind of gloss over, or we
Yes.
don't really pay that much attention to.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I just want to emphasize that like excess and gluttony is actually a sin.
Yeah. That's a good word.
Proverbs 20:21. Be not among drunkards or among gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and slumber will clothe them with rags.
Mm-hmm.
This is the New Testament. This is Philippians 3:17. Brothers, join in imitating me and keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us. For many of whom I have often told you and now tell you, even with tears, walk as enemies of the cross of Christ. And it's very interesting, the things that he lists. Their end is destruction. Their God is their belly, and they glory in their shame with minds set on earthly things. I think overall we should be aware that like the Bible is actually concerned about these things. For as maybe privileged as a conversation as this might be, as we're like getting into the nitty gritty of seed oils and double peer-reviewed research. The one thing the Bible does care about is that like we actually do take care of our bodies, and that our bodies are a gift, and we are meant to steward that gift like any other gift that we've been giving.
Yeah. And this is totally preaching to myself. Like, I love food. I have been gluttonous many times in my life. And it is sinful.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's like something we're calling each other to account on
it
in
feels
like Christian
like,
circles.
Yeah. It feels like a more harmless of a sin.
Right.
Like if somebody's cheating on their wife, we're concerned about that, and rightly so.
Yeah.
If somebody's watching pornography, we're really concerned about that and the ways that is damaging them and their relationships, and rightly so. Not so concerned if someone is overeating to excess and not taking care of their bodies.
Right.
Obviously excluding all of the asterisks that we could add. But I think the Bible actually, and I think the Lord does care about the way that we steward our bodies as a reflection of the gift that he's given us.
Yeah. And anyway, that could be a whole nother conversation. We do need to speak the truth in love. Like, we're not supposed to be
shaming people.
Whatever.
At the
Yeah.
dinner table.
Body shaming people. That's not what I mean. But I do think it's a sinful mindset to think that we can just eat whatever we want, whenever we want. We can do whatever we see fit to our bodies. And God doesn't really have anything to do with that area of my life. And I don't want any accountability there. Like, that's not a godly mindset.
Yeah.
And I don't really think it's a stretch to think that God cares about the food that we eat, and he cares about how we think about that food. Because I know in my own life, like, food is a total crutch, has been in the past, and a total idol. Like, obviously we can make idols of anything. So anyway, I think this is kind of where it gets tricky in this crunchy topic, because you can make food an idol to excess and to like unhealth and obesity, but you can also make health and being strong and exercising and staying away from certain products. You can make all of that an idol as well.
Yeah. That
you are idolizing your body, being perfect and worshiping yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's tension there.
Yeah.
On either side, if you go too extreme, you're making something an idol above God. So anyway, I just think this is something we should be thinking about. Next one is the finances.
I think we should skip this for the sake of time.
Oh, savage.
Well, we don't have to.
This
Again,
is
you
important.
always mock me for long episodes.
Yeah, but you can't just cut out a whole section.
I mean, we could do a TLDR.
Sure. let's do a TLDR. This has been something we have fought about in our marriage, okay?
Yes.
Spending money on crunchy things because crunchy lifestyle, newsflash, it's more expensive.
Yes.
Okay. And I won't go all the way down the little rant I was going to give, but I have a beef with all the health and wellness podcasters and the influencers who are like, it doesn't have to be more expensive to live this way. It doesn't have to be. They always say that. It can be more expensive, but it doesn't have to be. Sorry, it does.
Yeah.
Because any choice you're making between something that's like fine or the healthier option, the most healthy, it's going to be way more expensive. Almost without fail. Like there might be a few exceptions to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy expensive. Okay.
I want to know, this is just a random aside. Is this like a big global conspiracy? Like, why would food that has been taken so far away from the source of what it actually was, like a chicken nugget, be more expensive than something that was like just butchered?
You mean less expensive?
Less expensive than something that has had no processing done to it in the first place.
Okay, so let's not compare that to that. I'm talking more about, let's say you have ground beef that you buy at Superstore.
Yeah.
Or you can get the ground beef from Community Natural Foods that is grass-fed, grass-finished, no hormones, blah, 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 blah. That beef
will be more expensive.
Is going to be way more expensive.
Yeah, okay.
And that is the crunchy beef that you should be eating.
Yeah.
And I'm not even disputing that because I agree with that.
Yeah.
I want to be eating grass-fed, grass-finished beef because it's objectively better for your body than beef from a cow that was fed only corn in its life. But
it's more expensive.
It's way more expensive.
Yeah.
And you could pick apart at any topic in the crunchy world you want to talk about. Just like that, it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
So basically, I think food is really important. Food is something that literally fuels our bodies for our lives. I think it's really worth it to spend more money on the food that our family eats. That might not be everybody. But like you have to consider what your family, what you as an individual can financially handle and what the Lord is calling you to spend your finances on before you're just going hog wild, because you could literally spend so much money to be healthy.
Yeah.
Many people do.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing that our money is for. And we don't get to ultimately decide what our money is for. The money is God's. So also it's not worth fighting about with your spouse.
Well, if you do...
Although sometimes it is. Sometimes I will fight about it.
If you do have an answer for me about why chicken nuggets are cheaper than raw chicken, I would like an answer.
I think just because of all the weird additives and preservatives that are super cheap, like the actual amount of like chicken that's in there is not that much. I think all the other stuff in there is super cheap to glom together. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
I don't know. Like buying a raw bar of aluminum versus a finished aluminum whatever. The finished aluminum product should be more expensive than the raw bar of aluminum, but it feels like in many ways, like why is a bagged salad more expensive than buying a head of romaine, which is like $6 now? Anyways, we got to keep going.
Okay.
If you're one of our 9 listeners, tell me.
Okay. So let's get to, we kind of already talked about what's feasible for your family in the finances section. Everybody's an individual. You have to take the information you're getting and put it in the context of your own life and what's actually workable and what works for your relationships. Okay. As I said, we've had some conflict in our marriage over this. And yeah, I think you also have to think and question what is the effect of these choices on my life
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is this affecting my relationships?
Mm-hmm.
How is this affecting the time I'm spending with people or not spending with people because I'm prioritizing health, because I don't want to eat the same thing people are going to be eating at this function.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the more extreme you get, the more it actually will bleed into like other areas of your life. So
yeah, in many ways, it's just like with everything, it's like a matter of priorities. Like, you can forego nice cars and vacations and anything else you could spend your money on and spend all your money on healthy things.
Yeah.
You could do the exact opposite and eat like McDonald's every day. Well, actually, McDonald's is kind of expensive now, but you could eat cheap fast food every day and use the money that you're saving on whatever you want. Same thing with like relationships. If actually eating and exercising is good for you, eating better and exercising is good for you, which I don't think is really a controversial take. If you are a more healthy person and you can enjoy the things that you're doing and you can go for bike rides and runs and enjoy the outdoors, that is a priority that you are trading one for the other. So,
yeah. And I think we need to be asking, what's my motivation? Like for all these choices I'm making, am I trying to glorify God with my body? Am I trying to protect and support my family in the choices I'm making? Or am I trying to cheat death by myself by making these choices? I'm trying to be part of this in-group that I am really drawn to. I just, always be checking yourself.
Yeah. And then also, I think the flip is like people have literally radically changed their lives by the diets that they have chosen.
Totally.
And so like, you know, if you're not going to eat gluten for whatever reason, maybe you're celiac, maybe you're not, that might affect some of your relationships and your ability to eat out and go to a Stampede breakfast. But if it literally changes your life because you're a celiac,
yes,
that's something you should prioritize.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess kind of my last consideration is idolatry. We've already touched on this a little bit, but all of this stuff can become idols. The whole like health and wellness is one thing, but then you get to like the biohacking and the Brian Johnson, like I'm going to live forever, or I'm going to attempt to cheat death. Like that to me is much more closer to like this, your body is your God and you are worshiping it every day with the choices you're making.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can get extreme. But even if you don't think you're that extreme, you can make grass-fed meat an idol.
Yeah.
Okay. And I probably have. So still repenting. Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Okay. Well, maybe just some final thoughts. One thing I think it's important to note on this topic of like stewarding our physical bodies is that ultimately, no matter what you do, no matter if you eat grass-fed beef or corn-fed beef, or if you have never smoked a day in your life or you're a chain smoker, we are all going to end up 6 feet under the earth.
We're all going to end up dead.
We're all going to die unless the Lord returns in our lifetime. So I think that's one thing to balance on one side is to know that we're all going to die anyways. It does not matter how healthy you are, how much you work out in the gym, or if you can run a marathon or whatever. You're all going to die. The flip of that is just because we're all going to die does not mean that we can just treat our bodies or should treat our bodies in any way that we should.
Right. I've heard people say as they're eating something they know gives you cancer. Well, I'll deal with the cancer later. I know it's a joke and we're all like, YOLO, I'm going to eat the fun thing. But like, I don't want to have cancer. I don't want to live my life sick, feeling gross and unable to do potential work for the kingdom that I would be called to if I wasn't doing chemo treatments. Like, I don't want to do that. So there's that too.
Yep, absolutely. And so, yeah, it's important to not fall on one end of the extreme.
Yeah.
If somebody were to say, I know this is going to be bankrupting to my financial situation, but I'm going to buy a Bentley, we would be like, you shouldn't do that.
Probably don't do that.
You probably shouldn't do that. But unfortunately, like food and the way that we eat and exercise is more like a death by 1,000 cuts rather than like one big thing. So it seems less impactful, but not that it isn't actually.
Right.
Another final thought. One thing is that we will not, when Christians think of heaven, we think of like flying around in the clouds, like disembodied spirits. That is not what will be our final state.
Yeah.
Our final state will actually be physical human bodies. We will have a physical body again. And so one error is to be like Plato and think that all things physical are the enemy. Like the goal is like to die and then I will be free. It's like,
nope.
We will come back eventually to a physical body.
Yeah.
And so the physical thing is not the enemy. Sin is the enemy. And the only reason we're having this conversation is because of sin. Because if it weren't for sin, we would have perfect physical bodies.
Yeah.
And it's not, we won't have, well, I'd imagine the perfect physical bodies that we have won't be like grossly overweight and with the inability to run or play tennis or like hike a mountain.
Yeah.
It's like bodies that are actually capable of doing things. And so not that we're like trying to get there or achieve a perfect physical body, but just a recognition that we will have physical bodies one day. And then we kind of talked about this in all of our different wisdom episodes. This, I guess, is kind of like wisdom episode.
It's kind of. I thought about putting it there, but
we are called to be good stewards of every blessing God has given us. We are called to be good stewards of our finances and to not make unwise financial decisions with our life. We're not called to just, we won't. We talked about saving, but we think saving is not a way of just building bigger barns, but as a way of stewarding God's resources so that when we're older and we have an inability to work, we have saved up money so that we can live off of that money. We think that's actually a good stewardship of the gift of finances. Same with our bodies. We do ultimately think that like eating food and exercising, which are things that will reduce your risk of diabetes and cancer and like you go down the list, that being a good steward of our bodies now will help us in our older age to continue to do the things that we can do only in our older age. Like right now, we spend a lot of our time raising children and working at our job, working at my job. Hopefully, when I'm 70 or 80 years old, I'm not raising children and I'm not working a 9 to 5. And I can spend all of my time investing in people younger and doing kingdom things. That would be ideal. But again, like you're saying, if I'm extremely overweight and I have cancer from things that were preventable, well, is that kind of a waste? Maybe in one sense, because we weren't actually a good steward of the bodies that we had when we were younger.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It is tricky, especially with health, where there's like so many variables and it's hard to trace like one result with one input. But
yeah, absolutely.
As a general principle, we are to be good stewards. And so I don't think just because this is like a novel topic for Christians that maybe in the past 50, 100 years doesn't mean that we shouldn't be worried about it.
Great.
Yeah.
If you disagree, come for us in the comments. We would love that.
Yeah. And then final thought.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought we were done.
This is my final thought, and we're going to end with scripture. Luke 12:25-31. And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life? If then you are not able to do as small a thing as that, why are you anxious about the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass, which is alive in the field today, and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith? And do not seek what you are to eat and what you are to drink, nor be worried. For all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and these things will be added to you. So again, just a reminder that our trust is not in the food that we eat, and our trust is not in the water that we filter, or the number of push-ups that we can accomplish, or what we can bench press. our trust has to be in the Lord, because you can control all of those things, but ultimately you can't control anything. Everything is in the Lord's hands. So should we be good stewards with the gifts? Absolutely. Should we be anxious about our lives and whether or not we're going to get cancer or whether or not fill in the blank?
Right.
No. The Lord and the scripture calls us to trust in him.
It's a good word. Have we found balance? I don't know. We're getting closer.
We're trying. Okay. No resources to mention.
Nah.
No stats. No
Think.
articles.
Use your brain.
No podcast. No peer-reviewed
I'm not going to
studies.
tell you what podcasts I listen to, okay? I'm not that vulnerable.
Come find Chrissy. You don't know where we live, but I'm sure you could find us somehow. Okay.
Take us away.
All right. Well, that was Theology. We're the G's. You can find out more about our podcast at theology.ca. Follow us on Instagram at Theology Podcast and send us your many questions to questions@theology.ca. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Amen.
Amen.